Hello and welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and bees. Thank you for coming to the stream that answers the question, why will Neil get arrested? Today we are talking about something actually quite funny. We are talking about why is Trump making fun of Modi and what led to Trump being able to make fun of Modi. Now, Trump really doesn't make fun of a lot of people. People do claim like, oh, he's making fun of everyone. He doesn't. He's very careful over it. He is, at the end of the day, someone who understands that, oh, I can't make fun of this person. I have to make fun of this. So he never makes fun of Bibi, for example, even though Bibi is literally claiming that he owns America. He doesn't make fun of like certain European leaders, not all, certain. Even though he always cries about how like drugs are coming in from Mexico, he never makes fun of Sheinbaum. He always says, oh, that's great lady. Even though drugs are coming in, but he makes fun of Modi a lot. And he makes fun of Modi because he can. Now, there is a lot of opinions going around that's saying that, oh, this is bad for bad diplomacy, this is bad this is bad that, this shouldn't be the case. Now, like we'll hear Faye D'Souza talking about this. She has a very balanced opinion on this topic. I do like how she approaches the stuff like with complete apathy, and if I may say, no like emotional involvement. Let's assume I said that. Because see, I saw this yesterday, she had emotional involvement within that topic. But the problem there is that she comes in like, oh, we have been insulted as Indians. It's never talking about like, why have we been insulted? It's always the same old thing, like, oh, we have been insulted. We are like a very neutral central stance. Props to her, she can maintain it. I cannot. We are going to watch that video. And I'm gonna repeat, like, I have my issues with her reporting, but she's an extremely senior reporter and absolutely do love her coverage of Sting. That's why I do watch it. It is completely unbiased, which is amazing. So if you haven't subscribed to her, please do. Some things you might not like, some things you will like. Don't think too much, just go for information, especially with her, because she's extremely central to the conversation. Like last month, she had an interview with Chandrachud. There was not too much blowback. It was very neutral. The words were taken at the face of it. Like we could have, like last stream, we debunked half of the shit that Chandrachud was saying. But whatever. Let's start with the video because she quite... Hold on. Let's start with the video because then she will explain the situation much better than I ever could. Again, highly respected journalist. Follow her if you can.
This is how Donald Trump described his interaction with Prime Minister Modi. And it's important because in geopolitics, language is power. And I'll tell you why. It's not a memoir by a retired head of state recounting an old conversation. This is not a diplomatic cable which is private to a government. This is a head of state on a public stage at a retreat in front of American lawmakers. And this one sentence tells us far more about the current state of Indo-US relations than any carefully drafted joint statement can. So we're going to take a look at what this actually means for Indo-US relationships in this video. So remember, like, share, and subscribe. Let me give you some context. Now, when Donald Trump returned to the White House at the start of 2025, the mood in India was upbeat. He was seen as a friend of India. In fact, his chemistry with Narendra Modi, their personal chemistry, was celebrated in Indian media. You remember Houston and Ahmedabad. In February last year, Prime Minister Modi was among the first international leaders to meet with Trump, just hours after he signed his plan introducing reciprocal tariffs. The optics were powerful. They had actually vowed to double bilateral trade to $500 billion, big number, by 2030, and also conclude a mutually beneficial trade deal soon. At that point, it seemed like the two countries were aligned. Let's take a reality check to a year later to see what has happened. Now, 1 year has passed. The trade deal has not materialized. Minister Piyush Goyal and his team have been negotiating for a year, and we don't know what that status of that deal is. India remains the highest tariffed country in the world in doing business with the US. There's a
And just to be clear, every other country around us has a less tariff than India. Let's just compare it to like Bangladesh, for example, or Pakistan, or even China. The tariff situation started with China, but China is still tariffed at 0% as compared to India, which is a serious thing to talk about. There's a reason for it, because geopolitically, this comes down to geopolitics and how much of a stand we can take against outside pressure.
There's a 50% tariff in place, but a 25% explicitly linked to India's purchase of Russian oil. And Trump has made it clear this is not an accident. This is pressure. He has repeatedly said he's
Dude, check again. Like seriously, check the recent one. 47% on everything that China like doesn't import into America, but when like all of the necessary stuff, chips, semiconductors, or like all of the major trading goods are at 0%. Even Venezuelan oil that America has said it's going to take over, China gets a free deal on it. It is true.
using trade
We covered this, man, like last to last stream. You keep up.
as leverage in conversations about national security. He has repeatedly told his domestic gallery that India is unhappy and he's getting his way. In fact, at that same GOP retreat where he made that statement, he actually said, Modi is not happy with me because they're paying a lot of tariffs right now, but they've reduced it significantly from Russia, saying that India has reduced the oil it's buying from Russia, whereas New Delhi has denied that any such conversation has taken place or that the Prime Minister has made any commitment of reducing Russian oil at all from India.
Well, recently the Polish foreign minister confirmed that India has reduced. Hold on, I'm just going to bring up that India has reduced its intake of oil.
Trump, though, keeps repeating that claim publicly, linking it to tariff. And that matters because this is no longer quiet diplomacy. This is public coercion. That language shift is really important. So that sentence, let's come back to that sentence that we were talking about. Sir, may I see you, please? It's not etiquette. It's not about respect. It's not about framing. It's about how Trump is using words to frame world leaders. He constantly makes it seem like world leaders are people who are trying to please him, who are trying to meet him, who are asking.
I mean, let's not mince word. They quite literally are. World leaders, like this happened recently when America invaded Venezuela and is now threatening to invade Greenland. The French minister has still not said shit against it. Hasn't said shit against it. The Keir Starmer keeps sucking up to Trump even when the threat of invading a NATO member, a European Union member, becomes more real by the day goes on. None of them, even like, Jesus, the only people being against it is Spain and Denmark, obviously. Oh, it's a new tab. So this is what the Polish minister has said very recently. I can translate Polish for you if you like.
Express my satisfaction regarding the reduction of import of Russian oil to India, because this is financing the war machine of Putin. So it is something that we can discuss further as well when I travel to India next week. It's important that we sign the trade partnership between the European Union and India as soon as possible. And
he is confirming that India has not bought Russian oil as much as before because India bent down to Trump. Like Modi bent down to Trump, let's be clear. There's multiple reasons why this has happened. This is just one of the few.
Who are bending. He's done this with allies, he's done this with adversaries, and now he's doing it with India. Because Trump as a former reality TV star, knows storytelling is strategy, right? So what he
Storytelling is everything, especially when you're talking to the populace. That's where Trump is understanding of this. It's not just because that he just wants to tell a story, it's because he can, because he knows that we cannot talk back to America at this point, and there's multiple reasons for it.
he's done in this one sentence is that he's made an entire country sound dependent. He has strengthened his own position, and without signing a single piece of paper, he's actually completely tilted the conversation in his favor.
I would argue the conversation was always in his favor. That's why he can say this out loud. It's just coming up. If you have followed me on Twitter, if you know where I'm coming from, I have always said this, and I've always maintained this. Like, Modi's balls are in Trump's hand. Quite literally. He milks Modi and milks India whenever he fucking wants. Modi was also the reason why Trump came on and said BRICS has died. BRICS has ended. Because of India. Because, hold on. BRICS is died. Yeah. So, hold on. Trump declares BRICS, BRIS is dead. I don't want to put on Republic World, but fine, whatever. Modi has no balls. That's news to me. Yeah. See, Modi has balls. His balls are like up his. He doesn't milk everyone. No. Don't get this wrong. He does not milk everyone. That is the thing. He milks people who can. He milks Turkey. Erdogan, there's a reason for it. He milks Modi right now. There's a reason for it. I don't want to put on like, yeah, obviously he milks Macron. Macron is I feel bad for Macron. He gets it from everywhere. He gets it from his wife. He gets it from Trump. He gets it from everyone. Like, Europe has to be, like, you don't understand. Europe has to be subservient to Trump.
You mentioned that. BRICS died the minute I mentioned that.
This is Republic World doing this, okay? Like, yeah, fine. You might not trust me. You trust Republic World.
Beg you not to do this. BRICS is dead since I mentioned that. BRICS died the minute I mentioned that. But BRICS was put there for a bad purpose. And most of those people they don't even want to talk about it now. They're afraid to talk about it because I told them if they want to play games with the dollar, then they're going to be hit with a 100% tariff the day they mention that they want to do it. And they will come back and say, we beg you not to do this. BRICS is dead since I mentioned that. BRICS died the minute I mentioned that. And I remember when Obama and Biden in particular, I guess he said that, they have us over a barrel. They don't have us over a barrel. We have them over a barrel. If BRICS wants to play games, those countries won't trade with us. We won't trade with them. And if any trading gets through, it'll be 100% tariff at least. You know what? When they hear that, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to say, look what happened to BRICS. They didn't want to talk about it. They don't even want to admit that they were a member of BRICS. That's what's happened.
That's why BRICS died. This is why BRICS died. Because of Modi. You know why? Getting milked. Getting milked. Who is getting milked? Say it with me. Someone who is getting milked is someone whose name starts with Namo and ends with D. Jesus, like, how many times am I supposed to say this? I don't understand. And I actually kind of fucked that up too. Fine, whatever. The point is, Indian money. India has money, don't get me wrong. Our geopolitical power as well. Our respect by other countries. Why do you think India has no respect? One of it is OP Sindoor, don't get me wrong. OP Sindoor was such a shit show. It is one of the reasons. But the other reason is this, because India acts like proxy of US. So anytime India was always a loser country, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It really wasn't. We quite dude, you don't even know, do you? When India was going to war with Pakistan over the creation of no, India wasn't. When India was going to war against Pakistan over the creation of what the fuck was it? Or the creation of Bangladesh. America threatened India multiple times to the point where we had American battleships on our borders just south of our exclusive economic zone. The response that Indira Gandhi gave to Nixon in that, like, Nixon was like, if India pokes his nose in Pakistan, US will not keep its trap shut. India will be taught a lesson. Kissinger said, please bow down to Nixon. Please talk to him. Indira Gandhi did not. She said, India regards America as a friend, not a boss. India is capable of writing its own destiny. We know and are aware how to deal with each other according to circumstances. This is a diplomatic fuck you. It is a diplomatic fuck you. And how was the response? I know the story because Soviet was there and there was genocide going on in Bangladesh. Whatever the reason may have been. Whatever the reason may have been, that doesn't matter right now. What matters is our response back to the US at that point. What would have happened if Indira Gandhi had caved just as Modi caves at every second? No. Why? I'll tell you why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in this scenario. You're not understanding. It doesn't matter in this scenario and this scenario only, because I am comparing the scenario of Trump, like US involvement within India, and how much the US can dictate our course of actions whenever something is going on. Right now, the US president is openly making fun of India, and we are going back and saying, please trade with us anyway. Tell me you know that Indira Gandhi became president because of KGB backing. Tell me you know how Modi became president after with CIA backing. Dude, come on. We can go back and forth on this all this time. Like, it takes balls to talk back to the US, especially in 1971. Off the heels of winning the Second World War. Off the heels of defeating USSR multiple times. But then why hasn't the deal been finalized? Which deal? Which deal? We are tariffed a lot. They keep begging. They keep literally begging that, look, we are not taking this much oil. We have reduced oil. Now reduce tariff. Please reduce tariff. Would you not reduce tariff? Modi is going to fucking Trump and asking his permission. Sir, please see me, sir. That's fucking Modi. That's your fucking Modi. No. You don't understand. The US people pay tariff, not India. Sure, I agree. But when Indian products are tariffed, people are going to go for the other products. No? If, say, Bangladeshi t-shirt, which is tariffed at around 20%, and Indian t-shirt, which is tariffed around 50 to 70%, tell me, what are you going to buy? Are you not going to buy the cheaper product? As a company, America is highly capitalistic. It is always the cheapest is the best for them. Do you really think that they are going to buy the Indian product at that point? No, they're going to buy the Bangladeshi product. I thought you guys hated Bangladeshi people. It doesn't, that is the whole fucking point. Modi doesn't care. That's why he can, see, I'll tell you what affects Modi. I'll show you. We were talking about this so many multiple times before. At this point, all of this is quite literally hold on. What? Why? Why? Stop saying bad shit here. Whoever it is, I don't know who you are. Like, this shit affects Modi. Indian people Modi doesn't care for Indian people. Like, this affects Modi. Quite literally, when the Hindenburg report came out, Hindenburg report was used as a tool to control Modi. Like 5 minutes after, where is this? Hold on. So, this didn't happen in, what's the word for it? In isolation. You know that. Hopefully you know that. Maybe you have watched the stream before, maybe you are smart. This didn't happen in isolation. India didn't just kill the BRICS currency out of nowhere. India killed it for America so that Hindenburg report can be pressurized. This happened quite literally right after December. This happened in around November, right before. Modi quite literally went to America, kissed the ring of Trump, like saying, please, sir, when you become prime minister, when you become president, please suppress the report. My masters, my real masters, not the people of India, the people I work for, like Adanis and Ambanis, are getting pressurized. They want to do illegal shit. They can't. Their profits are getting hampered. Please do something. He went there and said it to Trump. And then Trump said, oh, kill BRICS. If you kill BRICS, I will get rid of Hindenburg. And Hindenburg was gone. First few months into the Trump presidency, this happened. You really mean to tell me that Modi works for Indians? He does not. Modi works for himself. He works for Adani and Ambani. And that is how they control Modi. That is why the Indian diplomacy is in shambles, because they know India is not going to do anything, because India is led by people who are highly corrupt, who do not give a shit, who consistently work for the people who govern their reigns of Adani and Ambani. He doesn't work for himself, Tyler. He does not work for himself. You think he works for himself, he does not. He works for Adani and Ambani. Multiple times we have seen that he does. How many times are we going to give him the excuse that he works for Adani and Ambani? He does not. He does not work for himself. He works for Adani and Ambani. I'll say this 1,000 times. I'll say this 1,000 times more. Those are his masters, and their balls are held by Trump. That's why Trump governs India. That's why he can make fun of Indians and Indian diplomacy so willy-nilly that we are not going to do shit. We are still sucking up to Trump. We are still sucking up to Trump. This literally happened the day after. Jai Shankar went there to be like, please, sir, give this message to Trump. He's not listening to us. We have not bought money. It does matter if I say it 1,00,000 times. I'll say it 1,000,000 times more. You can say it doesn't matter. You are sitting there. Your name, even your name isn't real. At least my face is real. My name is real. It counts. See, and I'm gonna do my own share of work here. I am still, you can call me an anti-national as you want. I love my nation a lot more than a lot of the Sanghis over here, because they love Adani Ambani money. They love being in filth when everyone is struggling, as long as they can feel the pride of their religion or God or whatever the fuck. My real name is Neil. Dude, how the fuck did you find me? My name is everywhere. Like, literally go on my Twitter. My entire shit is over there. What the fuck? What do we know? It's not. My name is literally everywhere. I have self-doxed myself so many times, like Squint Neon and like the Hindutva night guy have come after me multiple times. Go on their page, you'll find my shit over there. They have like dedicated tweets against me. What the fuck are you talking about? And seriously, these guys don't even sit in fucking India. Like, Hindutva Night is quite literally a rape accused in Nepal right now. He ran there after raping a woman. Allegedly. Don't come at me like, oh, your aim is not whatever. Dude, join the fucking Discord. You'll see. Link is up there. I am from the class which wants to make money abusing the system. If I can, no one gives a shot. Tyler, you're not gonna make money no matter who you abuse. You can't abuse the system because the system is meant to abuse you. You are quite literally the exploited in this scenario. The system is there to abuse you, to make money off of you. Every time you pay for your internet connection, which is far more expensive than Europe, let me remind you. Every time you pay for food, which is far more expensive, you are taxed 5 times if you buy anything. Like if you buy a stock, for example, which a lot of people think, oh, I can get rich off stocks. You're taxed 5 times when buying, when selling, when holding. Tell me again, and the same taxes don't apply to the rich. So tell me again, how are you going to abuse the system to make money? Unless you have a direct link to Modi or the BJP where you can pay them $1 million, they are not going to make you richer. They only give a billion to the people who pay them millions. You can't loot the system. No, if can loot the tax money with officials and other corrupt people. You can't. You are not rich enough. And if you're rich enough, why the fuck are you here? You wouldn't be here if you were rich, my friend. You wouldn't be here. You are just a proletariat. No, people. Yeah, serfs saying someone else do that. People literally do that. People already with money do that, dude. You're literally a serf as I am. We are the bottom of the barrel here. People might do it. You can see like one person do it, 1,000 try. They get exploited. You don't have shit in the system. If you just knew how many people I'm connected to, you have jack in the system and I'm the one saying it. That I'm not going to reveal. The point is, fuck, you're never going to make money in the system. Not in this system. Get real. Like, we are giving tax exemptions to literally every single rich person who ever has paid anything to Modi's party, the BJP. It's not coming to you. All of the tax that are used is not coming back to you in terms of roads, infrastructure, saving against bankruptcy. It's a big world, plenty for it. Tyler, it is a big world. There's plenty for everyone, which is true. Unless the people at the top, the 1%, which is a group that is consistently getting smaller and smaller and smaller, are hoarding all their wealth up and it is locked down. It is not trickling down to anyone. So it is a big world with plenty, but that plenty is trapped at the top. Why do you think is that? If that wealth is not coming down to you, it is never going to. And you can't reach up there because they don't release the fucking wealth. Trickle-down economy is a fucking sham. You cannot jack the system because the system is meant for the people with money to jack. They have taken you and your jack into consideration when they made the fucking system. You're not getting anywhere. The world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Yes. How about government contracts for dropping boulders in the river to protect from floods? Dude. You're not going to get jack. You have to make sure the boulders are filled with grass. If you want to drop boulders in the flood and keep dropping them because boulders don't degrade. You don't realize it. You have to game the system. You have to actively be the reason why people are killed in this country so you can like get richer. You have to already be rich to pay off every single person involved to not look at you when the crime comes to light. Tell me again. Also, dropping boulders in rivers to protect from floods. Piss off, dude. Whatever. That is not happening with you. You are not getting rich off that. You have to be able to pay off every single person. No one cares. You just have to say it flows away with floods. Everyone has their share. Oh, you have no idea, do you? Oh, you have no idea. Okay. You do you, my friend. You do you. I'm going to keep going with this. BRICS is dead because of Modi. Because Trump held his dick and his balls and milked it through Adani. Anyway, that's why he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
I want to take a side detour here to just examine why this feels so cringe and so unusual to us when we're listening to it. And to understand why it feels so jarring, we have to understand why and how international diplomacy works. Now, normally at the highest level, diplomacy has three unwritten rules. What is equality of status? When the heads of two governments or countries meet, irrespective if one country is poorer or is weaker in any way, the two of them meet in public as equals. So the US president does not speak about the Indian prime minister as someone seeking permission, just like India does not speak about American president.
That is not true. This happens only in the scenario where one country is important to the other country.
In that way. The second rule is that all disagreements stay private.
Tyler, you are 15. You're literally 15. And if you're not 15, you have a brain of a 15-year-old. If you're making that statement.
So even trade disputes, defense delays, oil purchases, these are discussed behind closed doors. And public statements are very neutral. That's always how it's been. Third, the language is always very calibrated. Every word is chosen. Every statement is drafted because there's never a loss of face. If you lose face, you lose leverage. And I remember as journalists, we used to always feel like joint statements that come out of these meetings are really boring. But they're boring on purpose. They're boring for a reason. They're designed to offend no one. They're designed to maintain the relationship thus far and to make sure that future conversations are not in any way harmed by that statement that you're putting out. Trump has thrown all these rules out of the window. And he is...
He doesn't know who that is. Or objectivism. I think I have to say this again over here. Bliss, you always think everyone reads as much as you do. No, he's literally 15.
Obviously, his entire government is...
You are way smarter than like 99.999% of the people I have ever met. You are expecting way too much out of someone who is saying greed is good, morality sucks and makes you suffer.
Made it repeatedly
That's
clear
a 15-year-old Indian line.
About
I used to think that when I was 15. Actually, no. I used to think that when I was 12.
way things are done, because these are not written laws. In fact, they don't care a fig about written laws either. As long as they can do it, they will do it. In fact, Stephen Miller of the Trump administration, speaking to the US media in the last 24 hours about Venezuela, actually turned around and said that this idea diplomatically, internationally, that
if you knew how to read, you wouldn't be saying any of this.
America has to go around the world being the...
If you actually read, you wouldn't be talking for Modi or for like, oh, I'm gonna escape the system.
Good guy.
If you had read, you would be on this side of the whole situation. You wouldn't be pro Modi, pro Hindutva, pro Sangh or whatever. if you have a reading and what is happening. There's a reason why they consistently hit on education as one of the major problems for the Sangh. That's why they reduce money. They reduce people's freedom within education. That's the first thing that they did for a reason, to attack critical thinking. Because if you were reading, you would have developed the necessary critical thinking skills to see what the farce, like the whole Indian system has become. But you don't. So you don't have it. Why would I be if I belong to, you are not. You like, that is the thing. You are not. You are quite literally a poor person talking out, because it's the one person that we have to be questioning. That is what we do. You are quite literally not the oppressor here. You are the oppressed. And it's not the Muslims who are oppressing you. It is not the Dalits. It's not the SC/STs. It's not any of those. Who is oppressing you is the Adanis, Ambanis. And says the system is oppressing you, but rather than speaking against the system, you say, I'm going to game the system. And this whole idea of gaming the system is something that you have developed in yourself. No, it is not. The government has taught you this as propaganda, like, oh, you can game the system too. Like, we are going to slightly leave this thing here so you can make some money out of this. You can wiggle out from this. So you will shut the fuck up. When a system is too rigid against the people that it depends on for votes and for relevance, the system fails. You, my dear friend, are being conned. You have no idea. See who popularized this term? This because India is a fraud country. Modi did. He inseminated it with, like, the BJP and the RSS inseminated this idea within you. Since since the last 70 years, the RSS has been crying over this. Like, oh, India is a fraud country. And the only saviors are the BJP. The only saviors are the RSS or the Hindutwas or whatever. And they inseminated this idea in you that India is a fraud country. So when fraud happens, it is the fault of Congress. It is the fault of Nehru. It is the fault of the system. It is never their fault. It is not an oppressive system made to oppress you. It is an oppressive system that just is. But India is not a fraud country. A country cannot be a fraud because it exists. It is not a fake country. It is a real country. There is fraud in India. And who are the biggest purveyors of fraud? The BJP, the RSS, the right wing, the conservatives. No, they are more fraud and will be civil war sooner than I guess. And you think you're going to come out victorious? You are not. You like, this is the hopefulness that they try to inculcate in you. Like, oh, I'm going to come out victorious even if I'm on the wrong side of history. I'm going to come out victorious. I just need to jack the system. I'm going to come out victorious. I just need to, like, twist the system a little bit, invest money here slowly. Doesn't matter how much I'm taxed. Doesn't matter this. Even if I am taxed, like, even on a loss when you sell something, you are taxed. Like, come on. You can't game the system. The system is made to game you. You are just lying to yourself, being hopeful in a way like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It never works out. How many people are there in India and how many people come out? And how many people that come out being richer at the end were richer to begin with? Have you ever seen it? The Tatas were rich to begin with. Let me remind you. The Tatas didn't just, this is not a question of like, oh, I was poor as a person, that's why I got richer. And then like with hard work, I got richer. That never happens. Never has happened. Even in America, this is the same thing. You can be, biggest stories of people coming off richer, like, oh, Bezos was poor. No, he fucking wasn't. Bezos got a handouts of millions of dollars every time he fucked up his company. He wasn't fucking like anything. He is not smart. He's not a visionary. Elon Musk, his father owned a diamond mine. He was rich of blood diamonds, like blood emeralds. Yeah, Emerald Mine, sorry. His own father has said, oh, we were fucking rich growing up. You want to be that? Start by being rich. Then we have, who the fuck? Who's another rich guy that came off? Tim Cook was always rich. Then who's on that fucking list? Ambani Adanis were always fucking rich. No. Exactly your point. No point in working hard. No, that is not the point. The point is that even if you don't work hard and you try to game the system is going to game you back, bitch. The system will always game you back, because that's why the system has been built around. That's why you need to be fucking out there protesting against the system and talking to people that we need to change something. Because if you don't say something, no one else will, because the system is there to game you. Your life, your children's life, your parents' life are going to go in this cycle. Oh, there is no point in working hard. We have to game the system. So let's try and game the system. Every single generation has said that. The only generation that doesn't say that is the generation that changes the damn goddamn system. Stop saying that you have to game the fucking system or jack the system or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, hard work doesn't pay off. Hard work does pay off. Hard work in the right direction pays off. So read more. Read towards what is good for you and good for your later generations. This is not going to work unless all of us don't come together in a single voice and say, fuck you, rich people. We are going to tax the shit out of you. We do not want rich people. Eat the fucking rich. That is what will help. You want the civil war to happen? You want the revolution to happen? Be on the right side of the revolution, or you're going to just end up fucking dead. That is the point.
Asking for elections to be held is no longer something they prescribe to. They just believe that whatever needs to be done, if they can do it, they will do it right away. So Trump has, as we've seen in the last year, he negotiates in public, not in private. He personalizes state relationships. He uses language to establish hierarchy and not partnership. So when Trump says they want to make me happy, or when they say, sir, may I see you please, what he's doing is extremely unusual and jarring.
Is it? He has done this with literally everyone of a country that has been subservient to the US. I just have to be on the winning side. Whoever wins, I will switch. Yeah. We'll see.
Narrating the conversation he has had with another leader of a
This hopeful thinking is why you are never going to come out of the rut that you are in. Is because you don't understand your own fucking position.
Sovereign country as a petitioner. Now, this is not normal diplomacy. This is performative power. And it's particularly glaring when it comes to India. And I'll tell you why. Because India's foreign policy.
It's not about me. It's not about me accepting you. I'll always accept you. I'll always help as much as I can. But if you don't get your head right, if you think you can game the system, you're not going to end up ahead. That is the truth of it.
Policy has always rested on strategic autonomy, which means that we do not depend on anyone. We do not listen to anyone, and we are...
This is not the time to be like, oh, we need a savior. You can be our savior. I am going to depend on you to save me. Or I'm going to sit on the sidelines until someone... Shivaji Janma open dusraच्या घरात is something that we have been saying for a very long time. I don't know if you understand Marathi. But the time has passed for it. Every one of us needs to be Shivaji. Every one of us needs to be Bhagat Singh. That is the place we are at. And this is not going to work out unless every single one of us is with this. I will accept you if shit goes wrong. And I will help you if shit goes wrong. But this shit doesn't work if all of us aren't together in this.
Autonomous in every way. So India doesn't like to be seen as a junior ally of any country, as a dependent partner of any country, or as part of anyone's camp. We've avoided military alliances. We've resisted pressure from the Soviet Union, from the US,
Until 2014.
from China during the Cold War. This is how we've been from independence. This is who we are. So when the President of the United States publicly frames India's Prime Minister as someone who is asking and pleading, it cuts against decades of India's diplomatic posture. And for India, optics matter not just for what it means, domestically, and I'll come back to that, but also because of what it signals to our neighbors and our strength in front of our neighbors, to our independence to our rivals, and also stability to our other partners. Now, there was a domestic cost because automatically we'll know that Mallikarjun Kharge of the Congress turned around and said, this sounds like a Mugembo conversation that India is trying to make.
It is. This conversation has happened before with Zelensky from Ukraine.
Mugembo Kush, and this is not good for our country. So Trump has given ammunition to the opposition. He's forced the government in.
Trump hasn't given. This is not ammunition. This is where I diverge from faith. This is not ammunition. This is a critique of the current foreign policy that India has been going through.
Into silence. It creates a perception problem also for the BJP as a political party. Remember the idea that India is a Vishwaguru, that the Prime Minister is respected across the world, and as a result, all Indians are respected and our passport has more clout. All of this comes under a cloud when Trump speaks like this about our Prime Minister, and thereby speaks like this about all of us. So it would be easy to, dismiss this and say, oh, this is just Trump. He's just a rude guy. He's a schoolyard bully. But that would miss the point. And I think it's a massive mistake to dismiss Trump as someone who just speaks off the top of his head, because he's using language as leverage. And by speaking this way publicly, he's signaling his own toughness to his voter base. He's pressuring India without any formal escalation, and he's keeping the upper hand in negotiations. I believe it's all part of strategy. The danger is that Trump is rude, but that's not the only danger. The danger is that he's normalizing this language now about, when it comes to diplomacy. It weakens diplomacy, it forces countries to reciprocate emotionally, and it makes compromises even.
And yet none of the countries have reciprocated emotionally. Because Trump knows that all of he is in control of this. He is in quite literal control of this. He is not stupid. When countries like India give their everything, become a weak nation as a whole, through a lot of things that we will discuss, we end up in a situation that we are beholden to a different country to protect our borders. A different country that wants nothing more than to increase its own power.
Harder. There's another interesting story that has come up at the same time when it comes to Indo-US relations. Now, we've now found out that the Indian embassy in Washington hired an American lobbying firm to set up meetings and phone calls between Indian officials and Trump's officials after that 50% tariff was imposed last year. Now, what happens in the US is that they have lobbyists legally who work with their government to get things done. So corporates hire lobbyists, apparently other countries hire lobbyists. These lobbyists have to declare at the end of the year all the work that they have done. There's one company called SHW Partners that submitted details to the US Department of Justice. These filings have mentioned assistance that they have given to the Indian embassy between April and December last year, including arranging meetings, phone calls, and emails between Indian officials and US officials, including our Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar. And that has raised some questions. There's one report that says that this company was paid $1.8 million. That's nearly 15 crore rupees by India to do this lobbying work for us. More eyebrows being raised. And it says that basically, and there's a whole list of all of the work that has been done, has been made public, including, reaching out to White House Chief of Staff, to trade representatives, and to the National Security Council. On the 10th of May, that was the day that was during Operation Sindoor, apparently. And in the details, it says to discuss media coverage of Operation Sindoor. Now, the government says that our government says it's standard practice to use a lobbyist, but it does signal strain between the two countries. And I'll tell you why. because our external affairs minister, Mr. Jaishankar, used to be India's ambassador to the US. He has been working this relationship since the Obama days, and even before that. He has tremendous, experience. He has his own contacts. He has his own inroads. Why does he need a lobbying firm to place his appointments? Does that mean that his relationship is now also strained? Why are the calls being made? Apparently, every time our prime minister, and this is based on these details, every time our prime minister made a
Okay, there's this one thing that's quite quickly happened. Why, like, I called a Sangi an insult. He liked that comment. Fucking weird.
put out a tweet, there would be a lobbyist who would call their government and flag that tweet, saying, basically, look at the tweet that has been put out, and sort of establishing, and it also establishes that the lobbying firm was used during Operation Sindoor, where the role of the US is being at this point still sort of debated. What sort of role did this lobbying firm play? Did the US actually broker anything? So these findings are actually from the day of the ceasefire also, that this firm was engaged. And Suhasini Haidar of The Hindu has pointed out that basically this means one, that effort has not paid off, and those 15 crore rupees, whether or not that was the amount that was paid, might have been in vain. But it also basically it indicates that there is a strain between these two countries, and we're having to use a lobbyist to actually set up a phone call between their officials and our officials. India has responded, of course, as always, measured, institutional, deliberately unemotional. We've not reacted to many of the things that Trump has said in the last year. We've not reacted to what he has said last night either.
Hold on, we
Is
have
this a good-
some news that I think just came in. Indian stock market has crashed, like quite literally crashed. And as if I am correct, this is because of Trump. Because 500% fucking tariffs on India. 500% for buying oil after all of this sucking dick. After all of the sucking dick, they still are doing 500% fucking tariff. That's what I'm talking about. This is what this entire thing is about. We as people are subservient to the America right now because of a failing society.
Good thing or a bad thing? One, India's refusing to personalize the relationship, I would say, is a very good thing, because India is
Because they can't do anything against. That's the problem.
choosing not to play that game, not responding to his remarks in kind, avoiding any sort of public rebuttals, keeping engagement as official and diplomatic as possible. We're denying Trump the confrontation that he actually seeks. We're refusing to play by his rules. Now, pushback could have felt satisfying at this point, but it often basically strengthens or calcifies that position. So India has actually been quiet. We've kept trade negotiations alive in the back rooms. We've prevented tariffs from becoming a political standoff, and we're betting on the process actually paying off in the long term. Also, remember, in the long game, Trump's presidency, however disruptive it may be, is time bound. It will last for a certain number.
Okay. If you are going to what Trump is actually doing in America, it does not seem time bound anymore. It seems a lot more like they want to keep continuing it.
Of years. We're aware of that. And India's interests are not.
Also, American foreign policy has been the same since like Bush era. Like Trump and Biden are operate at the same level when it comes to the American foreign policy. Like even if tomorrow Trump is not there and you have the most dem leader out there, he might not treat Modi or anyone who has been in place similarly, but he's going to treat them under closed doors the exact same way. American foreign policy is consistent. It is not dependent on who is currently ruling.
Not time bound. Our interest will outlast Trump's presidency. And so, By not responding, what India is doing is maintaining status quo on our end as well, so that it does look like only this individual has a problem and not the entire relationship.
See, again, I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. Indian foreign policy, be it might as be, is failing. Mostly because of internal failures, while American foreign policy has been consistent. This is why Manmohan Singh, our great prime minister back then, warned Obama about this exact fucking thing, to not give up on India. India is going through a phase. India will be back. India will be an ally. India will get back to where it was. He was hopeful. One of the reasons why I am hopeful, because he was rarely wrong. But Indian foreign policy has failed at this given moment because of internal failures. We'll finish this video and I'll tell you why, exactly why.
This matters particularly in our conversations with the EU, with Gulf countries, with South Asian countries, and all of our long-term investors. India is protecting its strategic autonomy. We have not committed that we're going to stop buying Russian oil. We have not publicly conceded any of those mediation claims. We have not altered our core foreign policy positions. But there is a trade-off, like I said. By keeping quiet and not responding to what Trump is saying, the trade-off is largely to our narrative. It exposes India to a massive narrative risk. To domestic audiences, it seems like our government is not able to handle this relationship as well.
It is not. There's a very good reason why. Because we are entirely dependent on America for literally everything.
To our neighbors, we seem weaker. To our rivals,
Opi Sindoor showed like the biggest flaws within Indian structure of protecting itself. India went from we will always win against Pakistan to shit, we are losing, and we have to like lobby groups. We have to push forward within this whole we have to pay other governments, lobby governments to speak on our side. That is the problem.
We actually seem like it's not a great look in front of our neighbors and our rivals. So yes, the Indian approach does have merits, to be calm where others are being erratic, but to be institutional as well, when Donald Trump is making it personal, but that silence will actually come at a cost. So at this point in the world, remember, also if everything moves on social media, Trump knows how to actually generate that 30-second bite that will actually trap.
Trump knows, I agree with Faye on this point. Trump knows how to generate that bite. He has been doing it. That's why he wins elections. The problem is that he also knows, and the US foreign policy has been consistent. I keep saying this over and over again and hope people get this into their brains. He can only say this because of failures of India internally. That we have to be dependent on fucking America for everything.
Travel the furthest and travel completely out of context and establish his narrative before anything else. So the question that we're left with is, can India protect its strategic interests without allowing its standing to be publicly diminished in this manner? And can diplomats actually do the work that they have been doing for the last several decades and revive this situation in any way? Because it does seem that Donald Trump might have the upper hand in many, many ways. So if we need to see clarity and details of a trade deal as quickly as possible, we need to see India make inroads that are stronger when it comes to conversations with the West, whether that is EU or whether that is the US. And of course, we've seen India have conversations with Russia. There's China, of course, that's seeming interesting as well. Just yesterday, we saw India open up interesting new business visas for China. So India is playing this larger, wider game, but it's a tricky game to play. My personal instinct would be to trust our diplomats, because they've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, this makes me laugh. Like, trust our fucking diplomats. Jai fucking Shankar is our fucking diplomat. Like, I would trust a rock to go and speak to Trump, a rock, then I will trust Jai Shankar to do it. Like Lal Aakhe, Jesus fucking Christ. He does not know what he's doing. He does not know how to handle this. Without a decent presidency and a decent government, he can't do shit. He's a puppet of the government. He is the mouthpiece. Diplomats aren't diplomats because they can take fucking decisions. Diplomats are diplomats because they speak what the government is saying. They are mouthpieces.
Long time, and they're very good at it. But to also slightly worry about the fact that Donald Trump has changed the rules of the game of diplomacy
Oh no, rules of the game. Rules of the games have literally been the same since beginning. Come on.
altogether. So, can our diplomats quickly learn how to navigate a new world which seems to be run by Donald Trump entirely? Leave me a comment in the comment section on where you believe India stands on the entire idea that we are a Vishwaguru, that we are more respected, that our foreign policy and our diplomacy is actually much stronger.
To be fair, you can use a rock to hit Trump on head. What you gonna do with Jai Shankar? Exactly. Yeah, I would trust a rock more than Jai Shankar.
Than it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, depending on the conversations we are now hearing from Donald Trump.
Like, literally, look at this. Like, Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm gonna just... Like, where the fuck is the video? Not this one.
Modi came to see me. Sir, may I see you, please?
This is the
I have a very good relationship.
Jesus, you
and
can't
he's
even...
not that happy with me because,
Okay.
you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs now because they're not doing the oil, but they are. They've now reduced it very substantially, as you know, from Russia. Prime Minister.
Literally, like... excuse me? Excuse me? No, where the fuck is this? Yeah, excuse me? He said that and this happened. Like... Literally, 5 seconds. We found this out. Indian stock market crashed because of this. I googled it too on the side while we were watching. Verified news. Indian stock market did crash. We are puppets at this point. Because we can't say shit because one, as I said here before, Modi's balls are in the hands of whoever can pressurize Adani and Ambani. Erdogan is also controlled the same way. But strategically speaking, Turkey is doing way better than India. Which means that Turkey has way more leverage than India in every single situation. This is why Turkey doesn't get all of this shit where its stock market collapses because of whatever India's does. Because Modi works for Adani as Ambani's and whoever is rich enough to pay for his, I don't know, yachts or for his stalking of women, which apparently is a thing. And so Modi gets controlled by literally every single person with a big enough fucking pocket. That is a problem. The other thing is, and people like, you know, are fucking, what the fuck? Our politicians are known for corruption. Politicians are inherently corrupt. We can say that, we can assume that, that is fine, that is whatever. You know why India suffers even more? You know why India suffers even fucking more? Because India is going through a fucking crisis. We need to fucking depend on American bheek. Because we are slipping on the hunger index. Our GDP per capita is going down. Our people cannot buy. We are not a big market anymore. Our top 1% to 10% are the only one who buys shit in India. India does not have any manufacturing. India has fucking assemblies. India has an unemployment crisis bigger than literally most of the world. That's why Indian diplomacy is failing, because we need everyone else to come help us, to feed us, but no one fucking is. We need America to come and be like, oh, we are going to give you this much money to like fix these crises, your internal issues, because, oh, your government has fucking failed. You want to talk about like issues in India that make diplomacy impossible? One of these fucking issues. A combination of illiteracy and motivated malice designed to produce an obedient herd of sheep by crushing all possibilities of critical thinking.
University system. And all over the country, public universities are being destroyed. private universities are permitted, but private universities also come under the control of the regime, obviously, because they also
Telephone calls are made there also.
I'm sure telephone calls are made there. I am not party to this information, but I'm sure appropriate telephone calls are made as and when necessary. And what is happening to the public university system is that one is, as I said, through faculty appointments, which has happened all over Delhi University also. Very, very good teachers who had taught for years were not confirmed, were kept as ad hoc teachers, and now
They're jobless. man.
they're jobless. But their jobless is one thing, but the people who have come in their place have no clue how to teach. They have no, so there's that. So the change.
You know how this ends up? You know how this ends up? This ends up terribly. You know why this ends up terribly? Because when you don't have enough educated folk in your country with good jobs for fun and a good critical thinking mindset, you cannot develop technologies in your country. You cannot get ahead. You are subservient to technologies that come from outside because the people in your fucking country are stupid. And you know why they are doing this? To keep in power. They are leveraging India's diplomatic strength, India's strength to the world, India's GDP, India's everything over keeping power in the fucking country because they need a horde of mindless idiots who think that they can game the system, that they can get ahead just if this happens, just if that happens, to give them like just a little bit hope and remove everything else from them. People like that make up the hordes that follow the RSS, the BJP, the whatever. And these are these fucking hordes that are later used for oppression, for hurting the minorities, while they themselves do not have jobs. They do not have skills. They do not have anything of any sort. These hordes are the reason why diplomatically India is poor as well, because the creation of these hordes makes India poor. Because when you don't have jobs in this country, when your hunger index is 107 out of 221, India cannot stand on the national level, on an international level, and look up and say, we are a decent country, we are a country that is strong internally. I saw this video recently, like,
of those
how is
people are
4.7%
even employable, man. और ये जो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ हो रही है ना, ये सब सर्विस रिलेटेड एंड हाई स्किल पेइंग जॉब्स है भाई. तो हमारा सिस्टम बना ही नहीं पा रहा है, तो सारे जॉब जाने वाले हैं बाहर. हम सब यूथ का होने वाला है गुड नाइट. ब्रोज, इंडिया का अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट डेटा बाहर आया है एंड वी आर ओनली 5% अनएम्प्लॉयड. तुम लोगों को पता है इन लोग अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कैसे डिफाइन कर रहे हैं? ये सुनो भाई, अनएम्प्लॉयड. सो अगर मैंने हफ्ते में 1 घंटा सिर्फ काम किया है तो आई एम एम्प्लॉयड.
You know why they are lying like this? You know why they're lying like this? To make up these horde of mindless idiots that we keep talking about. The Sanghis believe this shit, that it's only 5% unemployed. Look at this. I am unemployed myself, but not everyone. So India is growing. This is what they're made to fucking feel. But there is an unemployment crisis in fucking India. Every single governmental or international outlet is saying it, except for the people. Because when there are hordes of Indians, like hundreds and thousands of Indians coming for a job opening that only fills like 100 seats, you know there is a problem. You know there is a problem. And that problem extends into your international fucking strength. Because if you can't have people working, if you are really down on the hunger, you need other countries to support you. You need, you become subservient to the US international hegemony because you can't take care of yourself. And because you can't take care of yourself, and because your internal conflicts are increasing, that we have seen again and again and again throughout India. No one wants to invest in you anymore because you are inherently unstable. And because of all of this, you diplomatically become weaker and weaker and weaker. So, and what happens then? You get fucking Trump speaking like he fucking owns you.
Mr. Modi
Like
came
this.
to see me. Sir, may I see you, please?
See
Yes,
this again.
I have a
See
very
this
good
over and
relationship
over again. This should fucking boil your fucking blood.
with him. He's not that happy with me because, you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs now because they're not doing the oil, but they are. They've now reduced it very substantially,
Again, he increased tariffs 500% few moments ago.
as you know, from Russia. Prime Minister Modi came to see me. Sir, may I
Again,
see
watch
you,
this.
please?
He's like, Modi came to see me. Yes, sir, please, please, please. Can I see you, please? See, I am no fan of fucking Modi. I am not. I call that guy like 300 fucking thousand different names per day. But when I see the Prime Minister of India, India that I'm proud of, or rather was, get insulted on a diplomatic level, it boils my blood too. But it is not the fault of America. It is doing what it does. It is oppressing. It is within its imperialistic core. It is bending the narrative because it can. Because there was a time in India where we could say fuck off to America, literally. Like, where is this? Where is this? Where is this fucking video of us saying fuck off to India? Where is fucking hell? Oh yeah, there you go.
I believe that it is not the task.
This is the time when we said fuck off to America. Look at this. This is what you call a fucking leader who knows that the country is stable enough that she can say fuck off to America, who has been the superpower even back then, and be like, we are going to dictate what the fuck we are going to
Any
do.
one country to say to another what they should do, even if it is a question of helping. It is my duty to put the situation in my country and its neighborhood, to give my assessment of the situation to the leaders of the countries I visit. It is for them then, with their own assessment and what they hear from me, to make up their mind.
This is what a secure leader looks like, because she knows that your country is going to be safe even if we get sanctioned, even if the American government tries to force us into submission. This is what a secure leader looks like in the time of crisis. Not like fucking Modi, who hasn't opened his mouth yet. We were a country once upon a time, that this is how Obama used to address us. Again, US foreign policy has been the same. Democrat or Trump, he would not even have been there at G20 in Toronto.
My pleasure in having the opportunity to meet once again with my good friend, Prime Minister Singh. I've said before, and I continue to believe that the extraordinary leadership that Prime Minister Singh has provided, not just to India, but to the world, has helped us navigate through some very difficult times. And I can tell you that here at the G20, when the Prime Minister speaks, people listen, particularly because of his deep knowledge of economic issues.
He's not lying. America would never do this for anyone. Let's just be clear.
As well as the fact that...
Now, Obama is not someone to look up to be completely fair with you. Obama is someone who is responsible for bombing the fuck out of Iraq. But still, this is what you call international respect. Not when Trump goes,
Yes. Minister Modi came to see me. Sir, may I see you, please? Yes. I have a very good relationship with him.
not when this. That's the fucking difference. That's why we need to talk about the India's hunger index. Because when you are internally weak, you are externally weak. Remember, we need to talk about unemployment crisis, because when you're internally weak, you're externally weak. What the fuck do you think this is? This is not a joke. This is what weakens India, but we do not talk about this because this won't happen. This literally won't happen if we did not have a Sanghi fucking government right now, because they need this to get the votes. They need this. They need the unemployment. They need the joblessness. They need the death of critical thinking in India. That is why fighting against the RSS becomes a point of international security of India. Like, this is why you need to talk about secularism over anything, because when we have people like this crying for, oh, we need to bulldoze Muslim settlements, quote unquote, illegal. When you have people screaming louder than whatever, like this fucking guy which we covered earlier, calling for like, oh, I'm gonna beat up Christians in India. You become unstable as a country. You become unstable as a country to the point where you motherfuckers don't understand that this weakens India. It weakens India's image. It weakens India's prospects of getting money and investments in India. No one wants to buy from India after this. We are taxed, like tariffed more than any other country. So Indian goods that go out, and Indian exports are, okay, first of all, already limited. But when Indian exports go out, they are not bought by the public. So we become poorer within this capitalistic system that we live under, apparently. This is the fucking problem. People like this are the fucking problem. For their votes, they sold off India to the highest bidder. They sold off India. India is subservient to fucking America, and they can treat us like trash because of people like this. And you should be furious. I am too. I'm gonna keep screaming this over and over again. But we have to move on. And that is important. We have to move on because there are more serious things as well happening. The more serious things in this scenario is that shit is getting bad to worse for a lot of people. I'll pull this on. Don't worry. Give me a moment. America is being very unsafe. Because America, people are warning that there is a genocide that is going to happen in America. Experts warn early stages of genocide against trans Americans. This is serious. We are going to talk about this. I know none of you are rich enough to be even in America, to be honest with you. You can thank Modi for it. But we need to understand why this is happening, and we need to be aware of international politics as we are aware of Indian. Genocide scholars are sounding alarm over what they describe as an escalating attacks targeting transgenders, non-binary and intersex Americans in United States. Experts, including two former presidents of the United Association of Genocide Scholars, warn that the nation may already be in early stages of committing genocide. It is. I am concerned about the genocide against trans people in the United States in the near future, said Dr. Henry Therault, who served as the IAGS president from 17 to 21. Under international law, genocide refers to acts aimed at destroying in what or in part religion, national, ethnic or racial groups. But experts, important context, argued that these legal categories may be too narrow or too narrowly interpreted today. And they are. A group of people just does not mean that these groups here. It is extremely restrictive. Even I would argue that. Any person would argue that. Therault said that increasingly attacks are aimed at groups that are socially defined rather than those explicitly covered by the UN Convention. Again, racial groups in America, especially whites, and who's considered white, who's considered black, who's considered brown, are also defined socially. They are not and socially and politically. They are not exactly explicitly defined. I always give the example of Polish people who were not white for the longest time in history. Haley Brown, a former genocide researcher focused on attacks on transgender, said there's very little scholarship on this topic at all. Obviously, no one. Everything starts with trans. All genocides do. Just look at fucking history. Dr. Gregory Stanton, a former IAGS president who served as a founder and president of the group Genocide Watch, said attacks against transgenders and non-binary people in the US represent a genocidal attempt to destroy a gender group. Stanton noted that Raphael Lemkin, who coined the term genocide in 1940, also understood to have a broader definition beyond religion, national, ethnic, and racial contexts. His view was that political groups, cultural groups, social groups, economic groups should all be included in the definition of genocide. Stanton said, I think he would also have included gender groups. He would have. I don't know this person, but sounds like he would have. I think what they're doing here is they're trying to destroy a gender group, which they are. He added, and also I don't think it's genocidal. I think the objective here is literally physically to destroy this group. Again, American right-wing conservatism, the minority for them is Venezuelans, the minority for them is Mexicans, Muslims, Hindus, but before all of this, it was trans. Like, they have been anti-trans since day one. Everyone else came later. The first thing they wanted to remove was Roe v. Wade for a very fucking good reason, because then they could say like, oh, people then can't marry, then we have issues with book banning, then we have issues in America with, again, issues in a lot of America with school shootings and whatever, but that is, I think, a norm in America right now. And then we have issues with HRT, who can get HRT, who can get treatments for correcting their gender, who cannot, like all of this. For years, the political right has been ratcheting up eliminationist rhetoric against transgender Americans and dismissing their identity as ideology. This hasn't happened in India yet because India doesn't recognize trans at all. Like in India, the shit is always worse. At 2023, CPAC conservative commentator Michael Knowles said to eradicate so-called transgenderism from public life. In its first year, the second Trump administration has quickly moved to marginalize gender non-conformist Americans. The president issued a number of executive orders aimed at eroding non-discrimination, protections, and access to healthcare. The NIH funded LGBTQI+ related research and aimed at larger rollback of so-called DEI initiatives. So, sad for all of the right-wing white women who got shat on because of this, because they are the first ones and the largest group to lose their jobs after the rollback of DEI initiatives, because they were fucking part of it. Fucking TERFs don't understand. Like, whenever there were feminist movements, these fucking TERFs don't understand. Trans people always support them first. They were the first group to always support feminist movements, and TERFs don't fucking understand that. I don't know why. Are they so fucking blind? Republican lawmakers have made similar crusades. More than half of all states now restrict youth access to gender-affirming care and transgender participation in youth sports. 20 states now have explicit regulations on transgender bathroom use. Seriously. Like, all these fucking creeps. Trans existence and gender-affirming care are evidence-based and supported by virtually every major medical organizations in the country. Fucking obviously. Haley Brown also told important context that bathroom bills effectively give non-state actors tacit approval to commit violence. Remember the N number of crimes committed against women because they seemed trans in America. This has been happening for quite a while. It's always been about policing. She said it is this idea that I'm going to create and reinforce my ideal values on society and the state down to the very physiological characteristics and features of humans that exist within that state. Therault said he is concerned about the kind of legal shift that are happening and the kind of blatant hatred expressed by Trump and his followers and government leaders at the way they are acting on and the way they are acting on it. For example, where is this? Hold on, I'll bring it up. 1 second. Top US universities are quietly removing LGBT plus discrimination protections. Why is this happening? Ever wonder? No, this is happening because of fucking Trump government. Because this is a sort of genocide. This is how it started for the Jews within the Holocaust. This is how it is starting for Muslims. Quite literally, we have this news right now. Literally, like, oh my fucking god, this is just right fucking here. They removed recognition of a college because there were too many Muslims in there. Like, what the actual fuck? This is happening every fucking single place. Wherever there is, wherever the fuck there is a minority group, this is the first fucking steps of a genocide. First fucking steps of a genocide. This is what we have been saying from day one on this channel. And honestly, about time, Makbul Media, and we had like Papaksh Raj saying this, so in official media at least this is coming up.
As I entered the hall, I met Amir. And I said, hi. He hugged me and said, don't tell me you know me, you have never met me. I want to tell you, I know you, and I know each and one of you are here. I recognize you because of the pain we carry together. I recognize each one of you because of the resilience we continue to fight. A few months back, I was in Delhi.
I'm literally happy this happened because this is something that we have been saying on this channel for the longest time. This is something we have been saying on the community for the longest time. And finally, media channel has at least picked it up as of, like, I mean, I'm not sure if Papaksh Raj knows about us. We are very small, like extremely minuscule small. But at least similar words have been said, which is amazing.
Talking for the political prisoners. I don't want to talk about Umar Khalid today. Everybody speaks, we all know who he is. I would like to repeat what I said in Delhi. Please try to understand. Whatever is happening in this country is a preparation of a genocide. They want to wipe out Muslims.
I really feel amazing to have the recognition because we literally say this every fucking stream.
That is their agenda. We may talk of rules, regulations, nothing matters to them. They don't have a conscience. Time and again across the world, we keep saying justice delayed is justice denied. Why does the statement come? You know, in this country, after independence, we had our own police stations. But all the politicians, including the Congress, they created such an unlawful, arm-twisting, corrupt police stations that common man was
literally go back to every single video we have ever published on this channel and go back and please, this is cathartic because we have been saying this for the longest time. The police system is in India is fucking bullshit. It is the same thing that we have had from the British for controlling the populace, not helping the people of India. That has been adopted directly We have been saying this from the start. Thank you, Prakash Raj and Maktub Media, for saying this on a larger fucking platform.
I was afraid to go to a police station. Children were afraid of policemen. But then, till the last 2 decades or 1.5 decades back, we used to always hear a word when there was an atrocity, when somebody was wanted to silence us, when somebody wanted to, use power against us. We used to say, we will see you in the court. Why were we saying we will see you in the court? Because court was the last hope for us. Court was the last hope. We were sure we will get justice in the court. We were sure that a court does not belong to a political party, does not belong to the ruling government, does not belong to any religious institution. But sadly today, I dare give this statement on this dais. Shame on you, the courts of India.
Literally last stream. Literally last stream. Go watch.
Because you are committing the biggest crime, killing justice. Chronology, you see it, no? You are fighting BJP. Don't fight BJP. You have to fight the RSS. I had a very interesting political analyst who was talking to me that why Hitler failed, why Mussolini failed. Because they started a political party. They were a political party. Here, RSS is not a political party.
Hitler failed because he did what he did on white people. Because whatever he did was not new to the world. It was something that was done multiple times across the world, in Africa and in Asia. Hitler failed because he started doing it to white people, and white people don't like it. The white nationalism between white people don't like it. That's why he failed. He could have become so rich if he had just taken all of his grift and applied it to a random African or Indian region. But I mean, that's history. The political party thing, fine, maybe.
I was reading and making a play out of Panchatantra. There is one pond and there is a Rakshas inside it who can't be seen. But there is a lotus on top of it. You are fighting with the lotus. Fight with the strength which gives to that lotus, which is deep down. All your fight against the system, against the judges, nothing will work. There is one organization in this country who don't even have 1 or 2 names to claim they fought for the freedom of this country. There is not even one name, and they will never hoist our Indian flag. Recently, I got a letter from Prime Minister Modi. Email. Most of you must have got it. On 26th, I got irritated at first because it is my personal ID, email ID. How dare? He's not my friend, definitely. And I have not shared my email ID with him. So he has my data, or his email managers have a data. I said, चलो प्रधानमंत्री ने लिखा है कुछ तो पढ़ लेंगे. A letter full of lies. Beautiful lies. He says, if there...
Listen, whatever he might say, I don't really know at this point. But this is the Prime Minister of India. He says nothing but lies.
There was no constitution of this country, I would not have come up to this stage from the small beginnings.
He was not of small beginnings. We have seen it multiple times. He is not. There are pictures of him. His whole chai wala gimmick is also false, apparently.
Ambedkar is the greatest man. Mahatma Gandhi is the greatest man. What a liar he is.
He doesn't believe in either of those people.
Then I remember the visuals
RSS
of the
has
day
rejected
before
Gandhi
that,
and
on
Ambedkar.
25th, on the Ram Mandir.
Hey, Jajenli Niko.
There was a flag
Hey, greetings.
being hoisted. The prime ministers of this country,
How are you doing in Utah? So much shit is going on in your neighbors, I heard. I am so sorry.
and the
Also, I do feel bad for Americans, especially US people right now with the current Gestapo. We have had the Gestapo within the RSS for so long. It's become so normalized for us. I am so sorry for you that you have to go through it.
RSS chief were there. I have not voted for him, but still he is my prime minister. That's why I'm saying our prime minister.
ICE did the inevitable. We hijacked a Russian tape. We are so fucking fucked geopolitically. No, you're not. Like, don't worry about it. Like, Europe is always going to support you because they're basically sucking up on like America. Like, look at like fucking France. Like, look at Macron for fuck's sake. ICE did the inevitable. Yeah, it was about to happen anyway. Like, before they killed like brown and black people and no one gave a fuck. Now they killed a white person. We have the same issue with the RSS. RSS is a paramilitary organization within India. It is fucking shit. It is the Gestapo on steroids with government backing to the point where people don't even care. Like, you had one death because of ICE and everyone is up in arms. Thank fuck God. Like, be very glad that Tim Walz is like, we are going to send the like Minnesota National Guard against fucking ICE. In here, like in India, no one fucking cares. We have one death by the paramilitary RSS forces literally every week. No, it doesn't even make the fucking news. That's like, so I completely understand and fight a lot so you don't get to a place where India has gotten. It is fucking shit. Like, they could arrest me for saying this. Yes, I'm sorry, Bliss. Every hour a person is killed in India by the fucking paramilitary force that is the fucking RSS. So go the fuck out. See, people are about to go insane here. Yeah, you should go insane because you have to realize whatever you do, it is a fucking Gestapo. It is Nazism coming to life in America right now. And I say this because I didn't go out against the RSS when I had the chance. I was 12, but still. Like, it's too late for us. It's not too late for you. Go out. Like, this is the test of how much people in America love their freedoms that they enjoy. Because Trump wants to take it away. They are trying to curb the First Amendment, which is so loved by the GOP. Like, seriously, like, go out and protest as much as you can against the fucking Gestapo. But like, I still see hope within America, to be honest with you, with how people are reacting. I don't see hope when it comes to American international policy because Venezuela happened and they want to invade fucking... I'm afraid it's too late here, brother. Have you seen news? I have seen news of the relationship. Yeah, I have seen news. They're not going to retaliate. They're going to be like, we will retaliate or you give us Ukraine. They're going to make a deal. America, like Trump and like, okay, I should call him Krasnov at this point. When fascism come to America, it will be wrapped in a flag and carried with a cross. Yeah, Sinclair Lewis. It is exactly what it is. Don't worry about Russia. Russia is quite literally what they're trying to scare you with. Shit is not going to happen. Russia has nukes. America has nukes. You guys are neighbors. Quite literally, you share a fucking border. Nothing is going to happen with Russia. It is quite literally they're using it as a smokescreen to tell you that shit is like you can't do shit anymore. They're going to use it. The threat to you as an American is not Russia. Unless you're Ukrainian, in case maybe. The threat to you as an American from Utah is the fucking government. Trump files were, yeah, they were fucking too heavy. Epstein files, Trump files is just... They like... I know, but see, I understand, like, the joke is like America invaded Venezuela, so people don't look at the Epstein files. But Venezuela was on the books even for Biden. It was also on the books, like, the approach, sure, differed, where Trump is more blatant, like, it's about oil. Like, look at Schumer right now, for example, Chuck Schumer. Like, he's like, it's wrong because they didn't take congressional votes for this, but we are not going to do shit against it. So what is the fucking point? What is the fucking point? Chuck Schumer is like in agreement. He's your leader of the Democrats right now. Everyone is like even fucking Bernie is in support of this fucking invasion. Like, so I don't think it's like Epstein files. They just like saw an opening and they were like, we are doing this right now. Perfectly aligned with Epstein as well. Yeah, Dems are weaklings. Like perfectly aligned with Epstein, like 2 birds, 1 stone. But that is like, I'm going to be very like, I'm so sorry for Venezuelans for when I'm saying this. But currently in America, the biggest problem isn't Venezuela or the invasion. America has been doing it since its inception. No, he was speaking against, Bernie was speaking against it, but he wasn't speaking against it. Like, he'll speak against it like it is bad, but he'll speak against it like it's bad, but there is still justification for it, which is giving justification for Trump's actions. That is how he was speaking it. Like, Democrats are on the same line over this. The only fucking person not actually speaking against it, Marjorie Taylor fucking Greene. I don't understand how that lady is making sense. That lady was the dumbest person last year. I don't know what meta is this. Anyway, the point is, your current issue, like as Americans, is not fucking Venezuela even. I'm so sorry for Venezuela and Maduro. I'm so sorry for Trump's pushing on like bombing fishing boats and trapping oil. It is the fucking Gestapo. Because if you don't stop the fucking Gestapo, everything else becomes irrelevant. Because then if you don't stop them, they can deem literally anyone as oppressed, like as coming against the government and just put you in fucking jail. Like next time you have a No Kings protest, next time you have an Antifa protest, next time you have a protest against like, why are we going to war in Venezuela? They'll just put you in jail and be like, oh, they were going against us. This was an anti-ICE protest. You are on the verge that you need to protect your rights as an American citizen to protest. And that is like, as an Indian, as someone who has seen these steps going on, and someone, again, albeit a child, not being able to do anything, you gotta do something. Don't make the mistakes I did. Seriously. Like, save yourself. And the only way to save yourself is to get the fuck out. Oh, it's terrible. Like, Indian situation in China is quite literally like, we are nowhere because of this current government. We are literally nowhere. Like, we can't even look at China being like, oh, China is invading Arunachal Pradesh, or China is invading like Kashmir. We can't say shit against them. We can't say shit. That is the fucking situation with China. China is ahead of us economically, in manufacturing, in utilizing people, in joblessness. Sorry, not like it is only behind us in joblessness. They have, I mean, they're ahead of this from America as well, to be honest with you. They are ahead in what's the fucking, like, curbing homelessness. They have already met their EV mandates. As basic as that. They have more rail than fucking India. Fucking India, the one thing that we had. Like, we can't. Literally, India went to war, a fake ass war that they did with Pakistan, which China's helped Pakistan won this war, and then India spent more money than the actual war trying to tell the world how we won the war. Jesus fucking Christ. We are literally nowhere. And you know why this happened? You know why this quite fucking thing happened? Yeah, India is cooked for real. You know why this fucking happened? It's fucking because we didn't go out and fight against our fucking Gestapo when the time was right. And now I have to sit here and scream at like 9 people to go fucking do something because all of these streams are suppressed. Like on YouTube, on whatever, on Twitter, I get suppressed for saying because fucking Gestapo. Like, they were introducing laws that every single YouTuber, every single person out, like, hold on. I'm gonna allow this. China is going to beat. No, China is not going to beat your ass. China is trade maxing. It has already beat your ass in trade, so that is out. The point is, like, the Indian government, it has become so fucking dictatorial at this point because we failed at fighting our own fucking Gestapo, that they wanted to introduce apps that will track you 24/7. Now they're trying to introduce live geolocation on every single mobile phone. They are working with fucking Palantir, obviously. They are in support of Israel. This is the kind of shit that is going on. The earlier RTI bill, you do not have in India the right to privacy anymore. Like, in India, you do not have the right to privacy because all they have to do is say you evaded your taxes and they can check your phones, your social media, your whatever. Hell, they don't even need like that thing. That is just an excuse they can use. They were doing that already. They track literally everyone. It is like China has better personal privacy laws than India. Chai fucking na. That is the situation between India and whatever. Also, sorry for the auto mod. I don't know how to fix that. I'm really bad with Twitch. Anyway, sorry.
His hands were shivering, seeing that flag going up. Bhagat flag. My friend said, Prakash, your friend is not well. Why don't you tweet? I said, no. I am just observing what reverence he has for that flag, for his idea of Hindutva. I am wondering, does this man really have this reverence to our national flag?
He doesn't.
No.
See, the RSS or the Indian Gestapo or the Indian paramilitary force has not accepted the Indian flag since inception of India. They have always maintained that the Indian flag is not their flag. It is quite literally a terrorist organization that has been nationalized to the point where it quite literally supports and pushes forward the ideology of the current government of India, governed by the Bharatiya Janata Party, the fucking BJP. They are literally a terrorist organization that has been legalized. They have been banned multiple times. Again, they are the eyes of India. They are just religious.
Their agenda is different. Their agenda is genocide. Their agenda is to bring the Manusmriti. Their agenda is to change the constitution because they are not comfortable.
They are already changing the fucking constitution. I understand what he's saying. Like, he's still saying, oh, we still have a constitution. But like, the constitution is only as good as it is applied. All of the fucking judges, and we have said this here and he has said this before, are paid for and supported by the BJP, which means in India, there's a thing known as interpretation of the fucking law, which is the absolute bullshit thing to do, is a judge can interpret the law as he wishes. So if you have a right-wing fucking judge, all of the laws are interpreted in the favor of the government. The day, and we covered this yesterday, the day they denied a bail of a man for exercising his right to dissent, and they have been denying him bail for the last 5 years. He is guilty or not guilty, that is completely different. There he's just in jail. Literally just in jail for no reason. The same day, they gave leeway, the same judges, to the donors of the BJP, the Adanis and Ambanis, to not pay tax duty from Gujarat for their trade, so to get more money. Fucking capitalism at the end of the day. The same day, and another set of judges released a child rapist. Child rapist. He is a fucking pedophile. Not on bail. He is fucking granted. He's not just accused. It's proven in court. He raped that woman, the child. It is not alleged. It is a fact. They gave him parole for the 15th time. Because they want him for elections. And this is not even the guy that made news earlier. The guy that made news, Sanger, he raped a person, a child, again, a child. So many fucking child rapists within the BJP. He's a BJP MLA. He raped a child. Gang raped her again. Sold her. After she escaped, killed her father. Killed her aunts, sent a lorry, a big ass truck, to ram her car on the way to the court 11 times. He is the reason why she's not just raped or gang raped or sold, or half of her family has died. Every single part of her body needed a metal implant just to keep her standing or even sitting. She can't stand for too long because of this guy. That guy got bail. That guy got fucking bail. Why? Why do you ask? Because elections are coming. And how do they protect the person, the victim? She was told she can't leave her house as long as this guy is outside, because the government will not protect her. That's what happened in India. That's why whatever this government is doing is basic oppression. Because we said this before, oppression starts at home. If you are oppressing someone, and if you want people to oppress you, if you want someone to go oppress minorities, you need to start at home. It starts with misogyny. It starts with anti-LGBTQ sentiment. That's how it starts. And a right-wing fascist government is how it ends.
With that, they want you, me, Umar, everyone to be the secondary citizens. Be aware, and through this media, I am telling to the common man, be aware, be careful. Today they are coming for the Muslims. Tomorrow they will come to you. The only way is to continue to raise our voices, because it is chronology, you should understand, it's very clear. Gauri Lankesh was killed. All the 13 have been arrested. The weapon has been found. And it is proved it was a series of killing of Gauri, Pansare, Dabolkar, Kalburgi. All who spoke against RSS. All who spoke against this Hindutva, in 5 years, with the charge sheet, They get bail and they walk out. And the same RSS, Bajrang Dal, these fellows garland them outside. Please see the chronology. Rapists walk out. A Dhongi Baba, every elections he comes out, gets votes for the BJP and goes back.
He's talking
inside.
about Ram Rahim.
So their agenda is very clear, is to kill the democracy, kill all systems. It is time for us to wake up now, raise our voice, and tell them that we are here, we are not afraid. We will continue to speak the truth. If you can lie to us 100 times, let's speak the truth 1,000 times. All the best.
Also, something we have been saying, one of the reasons why we're watching this is because, thank God, finally what we have been saying for so fucking long is finally in the actual media. So, which is nice. Anyway, so it's I'm gonna have to head off soon enough. I'm so sorry. I wish I could be here with you for longer. We normally do play a game right after, just cause we are currently playing what was the word for it? Tomb Raider. But I mean, I have to go. So I'll see you on Friday. What is this? Thursday. So I'll see you on Saturday. We are online every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know. See, literally, like, Gaurav, we played it on Tuesday for you. You were not there. Anyway. Please do like, share, and follow. Please do push out this to whoever you know at this point. I don't care. Send it to your mom, send it to your dads. They will probably hate me more. But anyway, doesn't matter. Yes, please catch the stream. Like everything, please liking is important, especially the streams on YouTube, because we are dual streaming. We will also have an Instagram soon enough, once I get the time and know how to edit the fucking thing. So yeah, I'll see you Saturday. If we get an Instagram before that, please follow the Discord. You will know whenever shit like this comes up. The Discord link is up there. You can always join it. No worries, no issues whatsoever. I will see you on Saturday. Goodbye, good night, and Shabak Khair.